In this video, we are going to talk about the next kind of data binding, which is event binding. We'll see what is event binding and what good it is for. We'll see different use cases. Let's get started. This is part of the video series Angular course. If you have not watched the earlier videos, you can go through them for a better understanding. So far, we have seen the examples of text interpolation and property binding, where the data is transferred from the TypeScript file to the template file for displaying certain data to the user. But in this case, the data will go in the opposite direction. That means the data will go from the template to the component, because our user only directly interacts with the template. So whenever he performs certain operation like clicking on a button or inputting certain value in a form field, if based on that action we need to execute a block of code, we will take the help of event binding. In the example that you see on the screen, we are listening to a click event on a button, and based on that we are calling a function whose name is onClick and is defined in our component file. And this is also an example of one-way binding, since the data goes one way. Let's see a few examples of event binding so that the concept is more clear. I have defined a button in my code and it looks like this. So what I want here, when the user clicks on this button, I want to listen to this button and perform a certain action based on this event. For that, we have to use event binding feature of Angular. To do that, we will use the name of the event, which is click in this case, and then we have to enclose this event name with parentheses. Fair enough. And then put a equal sign within the quotation mark. We have to give the event handler. In this case, I want to execute a particular function which I will define in the TypeScript file, so I will put the name of the function within the quotation mark. Let's say the name of the function is onClick. You are free to give any name here, it just have to be a valid function name. And within this function, I just want to log a message. Let me open my console and click on this button. So when I clicked, I am clicked is printed, and as you can see, it was printed from my app-component.ts file. So whenever this event happens on this button, our TypeScript function is called, which is onClick. If you are more familiar showing alert messages rather than console log, you can also do that using event binding. Let me have one more button. And in this case, let's call my function as showAlert. Yeah, showAlert does not exist in my TypeScript yet. We can show alert messages obviously using our old alert function and save it. So now when I click on this second button, it shows me the alert. The first button still gives me a console log. Now let's say we have a variable in our TypeScript file. The name of the variable is message, and we are storing some message within that variable. Now what if, based on the user event, which is click in this case, I want this message to be changed? How to do that? Let's define one more function, and let me call my function changeMessage. What changeMessage does, it accesses the message variable and then set a new value of the message. Let me name this button differently, and let me also display the message that we have defined in our TypeScript file. For that, we will use our well-known text interpolation syntax. This will beautifully display the message value. Now, what do you expect clicking on the button 3? Yes, it changes the message to new message. In this way, you get a feel that how event binding makes your UI very user interactive. Based on user event like clicking, typing some text in the input, you can dynamically change the UI, which looks beautiful. But calling a function just to change a variable's value is kind of overkill for event binding, right? Yes, that is. So let me do it in a simpler way. Let me define one more button and name it button 4. In this case, instead of calling a function, strangely, because so far we are calling only functions, but there are things that you can do apart from calling functions. You can directly access the variable that we have defined in our TypeScript file and set a new value, which is, let's say, greeting. So clicking on this button 4 will change the value to greeting. So what did we actually do here? This thing here which is highlighted is known as template statement, and this should also be a valid JavaScript. Now notice one difference from the text interpolation and property binding. The thing that was enclosed within a quotation mark was termed as template expression, but here it is template statement. And also this kind of operation was not allowed in case of property binding or text interpolation. You were not able to assign value to a variable, but in this case you are performing certain action. So this kind of operation will be allowed in case of event binding. Let's see one different kind of event binding apart from click. One of the most used HTML element is input, because user can type in some text in the input field, which is very important. In the input field also we have many useful events. One of that useful event is input. Whenever user makes certain change within this input field, this event will fire. Let's say we want to have a handler for this input event. Let me have a console message within this function. Well, the handler was on input, right? And console log user input, and save it. Yes, now we have an input field all in the same line. Let me start typing in within this input field. You can see the number of times I am typing in some key within this input field, I am getting a console message. But our console message as of now do not make much sense. It would be nice if we can get this value which is entered by your user in our console. Let's see how we can do this using event binding. For that we have to change our handler method a little bit, and we have to pass a special variable which holds all this event related information. The name of that variable is event. Now it gives us an error because we are passing extra data within this function, but this function do not have a variable to catch this data. Just to make you understand that you can name this variable anything, but this variable should always be $event. And we also have to provide a type as per the TypeScript standard. Let me give the type as any and save it. And let me print the event data instead of the console log. Now when I start typing, we get this input event. So the event which is actually firing is input event, because that is what we are listening to. But this input event have many data associated with it. Like it has the type of the event, which is input. It has a target. Now target is one of the very important data that is associated with the event. Target holds the HTML element over which this event was fired. In this case, the element was input. Let me expand this and scroll all the way down. You can see there is an attribute value which holds the current value. Let me try to access this attribute in our TypeScript function. As you saw that within this event data we have a target attribute which holds our HTML element over which the event was triggered, and then we have a value attribute which holds the current value of this input field. Now when I start typing with this input field, you can see that our console is giving us the latest text that was entered. Thus event binding also become helpful when you want to transfer certain data from your HTML file to the TypeScript file. So far we have talked about the events which are by default provided by HTML standard. So this click, input event, all is a standard event that are emitted by HTML. But in Angular you are also allowed to create your own HTML element, remember? Yes, so that element can also hold its own event. That is exactly what we are going to see in our components video. As of now I will skip that, but that is also a significant part of event binding. But as we don't know component communication as of now, it will be a little overwhelming for this video. Let me wrap up this video by showing you an alternative syntax for event binding. For that, let me define one more button. Let's name it button 5. Now here I will get rid of this parenthesis around our event name, and instead we will use on keyword before our event name. And then let me bind an existing function which is show alert. If I save this, then you can see that clicking on button 5 shows us an alert. This syntax might look somewhat similar to the traditional event name. In JavaScript world, we already know that the event name starts with the on keyword, like on click, on change, on input, etc., right? But in Angular, we get rid of that on term and just enclose the event name with parentheses. With this, you can use that kind of keyword, but this is not so popular in Angular, so I would still suggest you to go by this syntax because it is easy to understand. That's it about event binding. If you have any question, drop them in the comment section, and the link to the snippet of this code will be provided in the description. Feel free to play around with that code, and please subscribe to my channel so that you get notified whenever a new video is uploaded. I will see you in the next one.